I'm here with Marty Connors, President and CEO of Rollstone Bank Trust. Welcome, Marty, and thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Mark.
What has changed with your customers and how have their needs shifted?
Well, I think we're still giving them the level of service that they've come to expect from us. I think that a lot of them that were slow to the whole digital banking platforms have adopted them, and I think they like them. What's interesting is, in a lot of respects, we've been busier than ever during this pandemic. With the economic downturn, interest rates dropped quite a bit very quickly, and our residential lending area has been extremely busy, helping people with either refinancings or, believe it or not, there's a fair amount of new homes being purchased in spite of this market. And then we had the SBA come up with the Paycheck Protection Program, and for a small bank like us to do almost 250 loans in about 2 weeks, about $37 million. That was a big undertaking, but we got them done. I think a lot of people were very happy with our process, so that's how things have changed here. But it's all been good. Where our people, our branches, we've been working with flexible schedules for folks. We've had, some of those daycare issues that every company is facing. We had the kids out of school and so forth. So we've tried to do all we can in that area. We're paying attention to the distancing guidelines. We've moved people around in our main office. We fortunately had some extra space that we put cubicles into, but they're quite a bit away from each other. And then we also had ordered, right at the beginning of this whole thing, laptops for those folks that needed it. So at this point, most of our back office people are back in the office with the distancing and so forth. And it's a question of when we open our branches, and that'll be in middle of July. Most likely, we'll be taking the governor's lead on all that, but I can see middle of July for us.
Despite all the negatives, has there been a silver lining for you and the bank?
Well, first off, everyone's been healthy so far. We've had a few scares with spouses that, for one reason or another, needed to be tested. We did have one spouse who actually was found positive, so our employee, was quarantined for a couple weeks. Luckily, she never got it. We have had a few others that were quarantined as a precaution, and they never got it either. So that's been a silver lining for us. We did, at the beginning of this, create a special COVID fund where the bank kind of played off the COVID-19 thing, and the bank donated $19,000 to get the thing started. We then ended up getting about $11,000 of donations from customers and employees and directors. So we've been able to do, small grants, donations to about 11 different organizations. And at this point, we've given out the entire $30,000.
How do you see Rollstone Bank's role in the future, and what's going to change?
Well, our primary mission will not change. We'll continue to help people and businesses achieve their goals and help them grow and prosper. I think the difference going forward internally there'll be much more remote work done, and technology will continue to play a bigger role here. It'll be interesting to see from our customer standpoint, what their need will be for office space, and we're a little concerned about valuations going forward if a lot of people are trying to move out of the more urban areas. We do a fair amount of work in the Boston area, Boston suburbs, and Worcester. But again, it comes back to us trying to provide the best service we can, making a difference with the customers we work with, and being a first choice for very capable employees and, making sure they're healthy going forward.
Finally, Marty, do you have any closing thoughts or words of wisdom relative to leading through this pandemic that you would like to share with our audience?
Well, I'm not sure if I have anything that hasn't been said already. I think it's important not to overreact. I think you have to pay attention to, what's going on. The government, I know some people are frustrated with the timing of the opening of the restaurants and everything else. I think, the state has very smart people working on this. They probably have information that we're all not aware of. So I think we should pay attention to that. I think it's important to, the distancing is important. I think the big thing is though to just keep an eye out for your employees and your customers, and but don't overreact. And I think everybody will be fine. I'm concerned about other parts of the country. Now you have Arizona, for example, having a kind of a flashback. I hope that doesn't happen in Massachusetts, especially going into the fall. But no, I think it's important just to just keep an eye on the ball going forward.
Marty, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time and your wisdom.
Well, thank you for the good job you folks do with the Business Journal. It's always great to read and see what's going on around Worcester and in Worcester County. So thank you for your leadership on that.